Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another flip through. Hopefully, this will be the last flip through in my May book, May 2017. So, we left off here. We were getting the ball rolling on what we now call the bungalow, which is another property down in the Keys, down south. So we were getting the ball rolling by doing the home inspection and all of that fun stuff. And then this happened. Yes, again. Okay, seriously. This is the third time, I believe, this year that my daughter has been sick with some kind of vomitrocious bug. I don't know what was going on. But this day, she had called me from work, or first she was texting me, telling me, I'm not feeling well. And so I'm trying to find out her symptoms and all of that stuff because she also does suffer with the same chronic illness I have. She has POTS as well. And so, yeah, and congenital heart issues, whatever. Okay. But let me tell you, she doesn't let anything stop her, that girl. So, she went to work that day to her morning job, and yeah, so she started texting me. I was trying to figure out what her symptoms were and all of that stuff. Then we figured out it might have been a possible allergic reaction to a cold medicine she had taken. This particular cold medicine we've never had before, and so it wasn't like the normal stuff. So yeah, so finally she ended up calling me, I think, and she was like, I have got to come home. I cannot stay at work. I can't function. And she could not drive herself home either because she was just really feeling very poorly. So my son and I went down to her work and picked her up, and my son drove her car home. And the poor thing, I mean, she was just puking and sick and itching, and it was just the poor thing. So we threw that cold medicine away. Anywho, so then the next day I was filming yet again, and I love filming. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love putting these videos out for y'all. I love doing, video responses. I love to answer your questions. I love to show you what's going on. I love to show you finished projects that I've completed. But the reason I started this channel was because of the Fobonichi. So, that day I had just been feeling like my Fobonichi flips, these videos here, and, my ramble sessions had really just taken a back seat because I was doing so many, process videos and video responses, which again, I thoroughly enjoy doing those for you, but I really want to get back to doing more videos for this channel in the way in which it was started, if that makes any sense at all, right? So I started the channel to do Fobonichi flips and share my flips, and then I added ramble sessions in because I do like to just chit chat with you all, or actually at you all. So anyhow, that's what I was thinking that day. Yeah, so I'm not going to be doing any more process videos for now that I know of. And then Beauty Queen stayed home again. The poor thing. I mean, she just has a cold, and then of course she had the whole episode the day before with the reaction. The poor thing. So I ended up helping her again with homework. On this day here, I actually helped her by reading to her. She is in a lot of literature classes because she's majoring in English. And so she has to do a lot of reading. And so she just did not have the energy, the poor thing. And so I said, well, I'll read to you, So I read to her, and it was just like old times when we were homeschooling. So it was actually kind of nice. I really enjoyed it while my daughter suffered on the couch. But yeah, she's all better from that stuff. So then my daughter had come out later that afternoon. She says, what was that sound? It was actually the first thunderstorm of the season. So, yeah, which is actually kind of early because usually our rainy season starts in June, like mid-June, and our hurricane season starts, I believe, June 1st and goes through November 31st. So, the end of November, however many days there are. And so, yeah, it's quite a long season, but we usually start with thunderstorms every afternoon, like clockwork, in mid June. So this was quite odd to hear thunder, toward the end of May. Then on this day here, I just been missing my Phobo peeps. And so this is what I came up with. This is just a clip art of those little disgusting, in my opinion, marshmallow peeps. No offense to those who love their peeps. I, however, love my Phobo peeps. Yeah, so I had been just kind of off my game. I had been filming other videos a lot. I hadn't been on the Facebook group a lot. I hadn't been posting a lot. I'd been trying to keep up with commenting and liking and all of that stuff. But yeah, I just hadn't been spending a whole lot of time on social media. So I was missing it very much. And so yeah, and we were just so busy, it's like we were contracting another house. We had visitors. I had mounting homework and mounting homework. No, I had mounting housework as usual because all I do is sit in here all day. So of course I had mounting housework, and I had mounting laundry. I had a sick gem. It was just, I was 10 days behind. It was just a lot of, everything. So anyway, I was missing my Phobo peeps. Then this day here I think this is probably the first time I've done a Fun Time Friday all year, I think. But I decided to do it. So here's the list of what we were supposed to do. So currently reading was number 1, something scary, number 2, something in the sky, pocket, and alphas was number 5. And so you take those 5 things and you just interpret them any way you want, and you put whatever you want, and that's how you do it. So let's see, number 1, I'm currently reading. So this was just a little pocket that I had made. So I was still reading A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman, and I was very much enjoying it. So let's see, that was my currently reading. Number 2 was Something Scary, which was a few days ago when my daughter was, quite ill with her reaction to the medication. So that was scary. And then, there was Fred. Number 3 was In the Sky, and I just happened to have this picture of a hot air balloon. I love to watch hot air balloons in the sky. Would I ever get on one? Not on your life. Nope. You couldn't pay me enough money to get on a hot air balloon, but we do see them quite often because I live out in the country. We have a lot of open fields where I live. And so, yeah, we do often see hot air balloons flying very close to our house. But they just look so peaceful gliding across the sky. So number 4 was a pocket, and this is one of those origami pockets, and I made it out of a magazine, a piece of a magazine page. And I find with making the origami pockets, the thinner the paper you use, the less wonky it gets. So there's a little tip for you. And then alphas, this is what I put for my alphas, was just a clipping of letters I'm feeling. So I was feeling excited to begin a 9-day vacation down at the Hideaway. And let's see, yeah, Beauty Queen was over her whole medicine reaction thing. And the gems were going to be to the down south with us for the long weekend, and then they were going to head back north. So, okay, so this must have been Memorial Day. And yeah, we weren't having visitors, I don't believe. So anyhow, yeah, that was that. Then we headed down, let's see. Excuse me one moment. Roxanne, please stop. Oh, good grief, girl. Oh, okay, sorry for that. My little Roxanne is misbehaving. Okay, so A Man Called Uwe, I was still reading it. And this page was interesting because I had read this passage in the book, and it just really touched my heart. It is a good book. I would recommend it. It does have some trigger points for some people. And so you just need to be careful of that. This is one of the ones, and I'll try to read it to you kind of like a story time, but and not screw it up. So, and time is a curious thing. Most of us only live for the time that lies right ahead of us. A few days, weeks, years. One of the most painful moments in a person's life probably comes with the insight that an age has been reached when there is more to look back on than ahead. And when time no longer lies ahead of one, other things have to be lived for memories, perhaps. Afternoons in the sun with someone's hand clutched in one's own, the fragrance of flower beds in fresh bloom, Sundays in a cafe, grandchildren, perhaps. One finds a way of living for the sake of someone else's future. That quote from the passage of the book just really resonated with me. And now, I don't consider myself old. I'm heading toward 50, but I'm not old. But not getting any younger either. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people too, this is going to just be my, public service announcements for the day. There does come a time in your life when life isn't getting any shorter, and of course it sounds very melancholic and very sad, but to me, as I read it, I thought, while it's good and dandy to, live your life for the day, for the moment, to enjoy yourselves, I think that I tend to find myself doing things doing things for the memories of others, such as my children, doing things, going places, spending time with them, things like that. I find doing those things for the sake of their memories, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, that passage just really touched my heart. So, okay, yeah, this day, we were down south. I wasn't feeling very well, so I finished the book on the downstairs patio, and I really enjoyed it. And then cruise, fish, relax, enjoy. This is just a newspaper clipping, very simple page. We were up, who was up out and early? Because it wasn't me, certainly. Okay, so Big Handsome took Beauty Queen and her boyfriend. He had come down for the weekend, the long weekend. And so my husband took them out and went dolphin fishing, which is mahi-mahi fishing. And so Sunshine and I stayed home because I still wasn't feeling very well. I read again most of the morning. Still kind of missing my mojo. Just wasn't feeling it for anything. I was going to try to catch up on some pages and... Okay, yeah. And then my daughter's boyfriend caught a really great mahi-mahi. I mean, he was huge. He was really huge. He was like, I don't even know. I think they said 30 pounds, maybe? I don't know. Is that even possible? Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I don't know. It was big. Anyway, it was almost as big as my daughter when she held it up for pictures. And we attempted a cart ride. Oh gosh, that was hilarious. Not for the guys, but it was pretty darn funny. So we have a golf cart, right, that we tool around the neighborhood in. And so we wanted to show Beauty Queen's boyfriend the new place, that we had put an offer in on. And so we decided to go for a little ride in the neighborhood, and all this, we got like, oh my gosh, probably at least 3 blocks away from our house. And the golf cart like burned up a belt and stopped working, and it started like smelling like really bad, and we were all freaking out like it was going to explode on us and all that. It was really funny. Well, not really that funny at the time. It was a little bit scary. But then the funny part occurred when my husband, my son, and my daughter's boyfriend had to push an 8-person golf cart 3 or more blocks home. Okay. Oh, the poor guys. And so Beauty Queen was steering and I was sitting, and oh my gosh, it was funny. I guess you had to be there, but yeah, it was funny. Okay, so then this day here, up and at 'em early. So Big Handsome and I were up and out early this morning. We went out fishing again for mahi mahi. We did end up catching, I think, about 6 little fish. We call them schoolies. They're about 2 feet long. And so we are well stocked up on mahi mahi in our freezer. One of the cool things out though that day was we were way out, like we were like 20 miles offshore, like into the Gulf Stream. Like if we wanted to, we could probably have stopped off in the Bahamas for lunch that day. Personally, I don't like being out that far, but the nice part was that the seas were very smooth. It was like a lake, so I didn't mind it too much. But the cool part were there were so many dolphin pods that day. Oh my goodness. Like everywhere we turned, there were dolphins just frolicking in the water. It was so beautiful. And I was able to capture a dolphin right up close to our boat. This is the porpoise, not the fish. So this is the mammal, not the fish. And I also got to get a video of them playing, so it was so cool. Then this day here, let's see, it was a fairly lazy day. Okay, so my husband and I believe, took a drive. I don't think the kids were with us, and one of the places that we visited was what's it called? I don't know. Oh, it's called Island Home Nursery. And it is the nursery from Bloodline. It's like the Rayburn's wife, in the show, runs a nursery. This is the nursery it was actually filmed at. So it was so cool going there. And oh my goodness, was it ever stunningly beautiful. I mean, I wanted to just live there. Just build me a house right here and I'll just live here, or I'll live in the shed. I don't care. I'm not very picky. It was gorgeous. And I love gardens so much. I love garden centers. I love plants. The only thing is they absolutely despise me. Okay. I have not found a plant that likes me yet. Anyway, I love looking at them and I love them and I will continue to love them. So that's how that page turned out. Then this was the last day here, May 31st, and mosquito invasion, let me tell you, okay? And the reason there was a mosquito invasion, or I noticed, because we have a screened-in patio upstairs, so obviously the mosquitoes don't get in there. But there were airplanes, helicopters, and trucks all spraying for the mosquitoes. It's crazy. It was crazy. So my husband and I, we had decided to go out that day on the boat, and yeah, we went over to try to find another beach area. We couldn't really find the one that we were looking for. Apparently, from what my daughter said, we went on the wrong side of the island. I don't know. Anyway, we ended up going to a restaurant on the water. That was very nice. And then today we got a devastating news of a friend's husband who had passed away unexpectedly. So that was very sad and tragic that day. And then that was the end of the month. And what I generally do at the end of the month, if I have an extra page, is I go ahead and I just put a collage in. So that's what I did. I found this lovely picture of mangrove trees and little boats on the water, which reminds me of our South house, and a little poem about boats and oceans. So that's what I did for the end of the month. So thank you for sharing your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.